How do I fuss around with my party? How do I fuss around with my party? I have no idea right now. I guess I'll have to take a chance on it. Where do we need to go? Because the Grand Tree wasn't where I had to go, so is it like the Dark Elves? Is it Cyclopes? I don't know. Loren led the party with word from General Astron to meet up in the Dark Elf village outside of the forest. All they knew, there was a rogue demon wandering the desert, looking to recruit the Dark Elves to the Everburn Mountains once more. When they approached the Dark Elf village, however, something was off. Very off. All of the Dark Elves were standing in the center of the town in rank and file, staring almost blankly ahead at Astron and his troops. The general was, against all reasoning, brandishing a sword at Tobar, but even the Elder Elf seemed undaunted by the army before him. "What's wrong? What is happening?" Mirth and Loren ran to Astron. "Why are you challenging the Dark Elves? We came to fight a demon."
"We were too late. They've chosen to side with the demons."
Mirth almost dropped her staff in horror. "No! Impossible, no!"
"Father."
The elder Dark Elf's face was emotionless, but with a flick of his hand, several elves behind him leapt forward, prepared to kill. Okay, we need Saren and Loren. But now, we get to readjust our party to my favorite setup here. Shambhala. Boom. Let's do it. Things are gonna get rough. Take this!
Prepare yourself!
This may hurt a little.
Have a tornado, bitches.
Come for me!
Wow, we are dropping these guys like flies now. Look at that. That was crazy. Power to the motherfucking people. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. You know I'm right.
They were honorless, and their death brought them no different.
Alright, let's try to solve this. The Dark Elves crumpled into a heap. Saren felt guilty beyond belief, knowing that they were not in their right minds. These elves have been bewitched, even Tobar.
The demons will not stop until everything is taken from me.
There was a clear look of pain in his eyes when he turned to face Tobar again. The elder raised his hand as if to call for another attack.
No. Fight it! You must!
There was a hesitation in Tobar's order, but then he ordered it just the same. Several Dark Elves jumped out from behind him to attack the party again. Mesfit shot towards his father, causing all the Dark Elves to jump into action. Astron's army took the offensive. Loren, Saren, and the rest of the party had no choice but to defend themselves in the ensuing chaos. Let's drop the healer first.
This may hurt a little.
Tornado!
I hope this is slightly uncomfortable.
Blaster.
This is always fun.
Drop him. Keep hitting him.
Learn from this.
These guys can't keep it up for much longer. Victory is ours. The desert winds whipped through the village, clouding everyone's view, but Tobar's magic shot clear through the haze. The Elder was fighting with strength he hadn't seemed to possess before. Tobar did not realize he was trying his best to kill his own son. Even though Mesfit was a formidable foe, he was no match for his father's enhanced magic. But even knowing that, Mesfit stood fast, hoping to bring him back out of whatever was controlling him.
Don't follow my mistakes. Do not become what I have become.
Tobar was blinded. He attacked Mesfit brutally, sending him to the ground. The party rushed to save Mesfit. Ah, gosh, I'm sorry, Tobar. I guess you were gonna die. Cure all. Seriously? Tornado!
I hope this is slightly uncomfortable.
Fuck! Really? This is not gonna be fun. Not a good fight. Not a good fight at all. Drop him. I need you to heal Shambara. Shambara, use your poison on him. That's a good one. Attack! 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 Shit, with the cure-alls again? Oh my fucking god. Really right now, guys? Drop him. Tornado!
Try this on for size.
Yes. That's 2 down.
Hi.
No, Shambara! Fuck. Revival!
Hope it doesn't come to this again.
We won. Mesfit growled as he let his demonic side take over, but it did not faze Tobar. They ran at each other and traded blows. In an uncontrollable rage, Mesfit swiped at his father and he fell to the ground. Almost instantly, he had realized what he'd done and stumbled to a fault. Father! He rushed to Tobar's body. Everyone, elf and soldier alike, stopped fighting to see if the elder elf had been killed.
He is alive.
They looked to Apollomesho approaching Tobar.
He is just unconscious. Whatever it was that had a grip on his mind, I sense that it has fled. He needs only time to recover.
He was being mind-controlled? By whom?
Her.
Who?
I believe he's referring to a demon. She is near.
Saren shuddered and looked around.
This is the work of a rare type of demon, a succubus. Her mind-controlling magic is truly some of the most dangerous, as you see what it can do.
Turn a family against itself. Mesfit bent down into the sand to check on his father once more. Astron walked closer to Loren in silence.
That demon may think she is one with the Dark Elves, but you need to tell her that she's wrong. Her next move is likely to target the Forest Elves and corrupt them as well.
We will not allow that to happen. What of the other Dark Elves? Everyone looked back at the mindless elves standing, still awaiting for Tobar's command. They look helpless without their leader.
But they will not return to themselves until the demon responsible is killed.
Mesfit stood up and started exiting the village at a quick pace. Loren jumped and realized he was going to apprehend the demon. Follow him. To the outskirts! Birds scattered in fear when Mesfit entered the trees. He stopped briefly as the whole forest seemed to creak and moan at his presence. Ray walked past him with a disgusted look, but said nothing. Mesfit took a breath and continued forward. The group pressed through the forest, looking for any signs of a demon. Mirth hesitated. I cannot go with you. The pain. It is too much to be in the forest along with demons. You are still not used to it yet. I'm not sure I ever will be. No one should have to get used to evil, especially you. Mirth smiled softly up at Saren, inspiring a smile in him, too. Very well. Go back to the village with the general. We'll return soon. Mirth nodded and left with a wary look over her shoulder. Loren led everyone deeper into the forest. The succubus could not have gotten very far. There was no breeze, no chirping birds, no wandering animals. Nothing. Is it just me, or did this forest get really creepy from the last time I was here? It's definitely way more. Dora screamed as she almost ran into an elf woman standing silently behind a tree. Whoa, you scared me, sorry. Hi? The elf was unresponsive, staring straight ahead. Another. Apollomesha pointed to yet another elf standing stoically within the trees. Yes, very, very creepy now. More slaves to the demon's magic. Do not harm them if it can be helped. They're innocents. Ray approached one of the elves, sick to his stomach from seeing his people rendered hollow. He reached up to touch the elf archer to see if he could shake him from his trance. When Ray's hand touched him, the elf suddenly grabbed him. The archer's grip felt as if it would break Ray's hand until he managed to pull it free. Dora screeched as the elf she was standing near suddenly lunged at her. More mind control elves appeared and pulled out their weapons. We have no choice now. Well, this is gonna be depressing. Time to kill people! Oh my god. This fucking hail, man. This fucking hail. Alright, you know what? You know what? You're gonna get this. That's what you're gonna get. You know? You know that? You know that? You know something? You know something else? Have fireballs!
I hope this is slightly uncomfortable.
Boom! We dropped one of you. Good. And I'll do some damage to you. Take out some more damage to you. Take out even more damage to you. Finish you off.
You're no good, scum sucker!
You'll use your bow to finish that guy off. You can attack this person and almost kill. And you can mage bolt. And now we can drop this person.
One more time!
And we win. Ramus leveled up. Good. 45 now. Skill point. Rage level 2. Finished. Done. They were forced to kill the elves. Loren grimaced, looking at their bodies. What unholy magic is this? Demon magic, from the lowest tier of Inferno. A faint giggle reached their ears, sending a chill up their spines. You flatter me. They all whipped around and saw the figure of a demonic woman standing with surprising ease amongst the carnage. She took a hand off her hip and started to strut towards them, her high heels delicately stepping over bodies as if they were nothing. Who are you? Jul. She stopped for a moment to read Mesfit, but then she recognized him and smirked. My, how you've grown. You've used my gift to its full potential, I see. I'm impressed. Every muscle in Mesfit seemed to clench. Do not look in her eyes. She'll try to possess you. The party members promptly looked away and shielded their eyes, but Jul merely laughed. Hey! I can't seem to move! Me neither! What's going on? Fear set in as their limbs suddenly were too heavy to lift, trapping them in their bodies. Loren, however, used all of her strength to reach the hilt of the ember blade. She lifted the handle and the blade started to glow vibrantly. Jul hissed as if repelled by the sword itself. You foul creature! Loren could only challenge the demon with a fierce look, which unfortunately allowed Jul to work her unholy magic, penetrating Loren's mind. Within a moment, Loren's will to fight disappeared and her hand fell to her side. Saren's vision tunneled. Loren did not seem to exist anymore. There was only Jul in his eyes. She completely entranced him. There was new color and music, the most mundane movements her body would make. Saren was completely struck in her beauty. Beautiful. She was beautiful. Nothing could ever hurt something so precious. He would do anything for her. The potency of this one demon's magic was beyond what they could bear. Even the talented Apollomesha was barely cognitive. But what was most unmistakable was the deep desire in the eyes of certain party members for Jul and only her. Even Loren's wrath had melted into lust. Jul walked around Loren seductively, using the tips of her fingers to tense. Now, hasn't anyone told you it's impolite to stare? Saren's eyes widened as the demon's advances on his mistress. He had never seen Loren look at someone with such hungry eyes before. It pained him against his better judgment that after all this time, Loren still preferred women.
Saren shook his head, reminding himself that there was magic at work, and even he wasn't safe from it. She moved next to Ramus, running a silky hand through his hair. He visibly shivered. Dora looked pained at the sight.
Look at what you're making me do.
She gazed past Karen, again using her eyes to ensnare them further. Karen's chest heaved. She had never felt anything so wonderful as Jul's touch.
You've all been a thorn in my lord's side from the very beginning.
She dove in close to Ray's face, and his eyes followed her intently. To his disappointment, Jul broke away and fell towards Amukiki in almost the same moment. She leaned against his chest and he gulped.
You couldn't just shrivel up and die. You couldn't even let our war take its course. You should have just stayed home.
Jul whispered directly into Salzer's ear. His back went rigid, losing all of his monk training in the blink of an eye. She then stepped over to Shambara, sliding her soft fingers behind her head and through her hair. Shambara's eyes were heavy and her smirk very pronounced.
Now I have to punish you.
Saren wasn't sure who was being played at that moment. Shambara looked just as she did every time she teased him. If Shambara was really bewitched at this moment, was all the teasing before really teasing after all? Jul walked up to Mesfit. He was the least affected by her charms, but he couldn't move a muscle. He could only growl at her.
Smile.
The succubus grabbed Mesfit's chin harshly.
I hate to see you frowning so much.
The succubus crept towards Saren. Her eyes seemed to be the only thing to exist in the world at this moment. Everyone else was forgotten.
Do you know how many times we've tried to kill you?
She studied Saren with a placating look, running her hand down his cheek. She ran her fingers down his chin and grazed his lips.
Too many.
She smacked Terrance's cheek, but he was still unable to shake from his trance.
If we can't kill you, then we'll use you, like toys.
Jul slunk devilishly in front of Draco and grinned.
Wouldn't you like to be my little toy?
I have the option. Oh, good. I thought you were going to brainwash us. Just mock me down as the no-go for the toy thing. She flashed her eyes intensely. Draco squeaked and grabbed his throat.
None of you have a choice. You're all mine. And why? Because I said so. Because I get what I want. And because you make it so incredibly easy for me.
A raspy groan kept Jul from ranting further. She looked around and realized that sound was coming from Loren, no longer looking bewitched.
What's that? Are you trying to speak? Or are you just moaning in pleasure?
Loren's groan turned into a growl, steadily gaining volume and ferocity. Soon her mouth opened and she was able to actually shout. Her yells strengthened, louder, harsher. Loren was unleashing the most mighty war cry anyone had ever heard, looking Jul dead in the eyes. The demon was no longer smiling. The sound was so loud she had to take a step back. Saren began to feel in control of his own body again. Arms, legs, head, mouth. Loren! Loren! It was strange for his first words, but her name filled him with a strange security and liberty that he so desperately needed right then.
How are you doing this? How can you shake my magic from your voice only?
Saren saw Loren grab the hilt of her sword. The others around her made small movements as Jul's magic faded completely away.
No! Filthy mortals, you are under my...
The ember blade flew out of its sheath and cut through the air just in front of the demon, only missing her by a hair. Loren's shout ended and she caught her breath. Everyone around her pulled out their weapons as well, now impervious to Jul's charms.
You're beyond annoying now. I'm bored of you and I will do what that stupid green goblin could not! Mesfit!
They all looked back to see the dark elf transformed into his demon form, and he was staring intently at Jul.
Come here! Come fight for your master!
Obediently, Mesfit pushed his way through the party members to join Jul's side. No, you cannot have him. You have done enough to him! Let him go! Jul threw her head back and laughed. The demonic dark elf stood, waiting by Jul. He was stoic, as if he were a pet waiting for a command.
Shut up!
Jul painted right at Loren.
Make sure she dies the most painfully.
Mesfit bounded forward to obey.
Damn it.
Let's do it. Oh, shit, that hurt. Mesfit!
Come for me!
Rally! Soul Root. Tornado. Tornado's our best hitter on this guy. Hit him! Hit him! Double attack! Take him down! Let's see how he likes this.
You forfeited your life.
Soul Root. Attack!
This is your end.
Double attack!
I hope this is slightly uncomfortable.
I'm sorry about that. Death Trap level 3. Finished. Good. Mesfit was sprawled on the ground, slowly bleeding out. Loren moved, knowing that someone had to make the killing blow. The blame is only hers! Jul tried to flee, but Apollo and Amukiki made their way around her. We must kill him before he wakes to strike again. He is under a spell, just like we all were a moment ago. He's at no fault of his own. Ray inhaled sharply and turned away. Get up, you buffoon! Protect me! Mesfit did stir, sending fear into them that he might still be under Jul's control. Mesfit's demonic features retracted and disappeared as he grew more conscious. He blinked and looked around at the party surrounding him. He did not attack. He was only silent. Where am I? Where is my father? So you're useless now, too. Great. Luckily, I have more where you came from. Without warning, dark pools bubbled up from the ground around Jul. From the void sprang decrepit arms, pulling demon bodies to the surface. The trees around them shivered and started to turn black. The grass beneath their feet turned brown. She's killing the forest! Who cares about some stupid trees? Sweeties, show these guys how I like it done. Boss fight. Let's do this. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh yes, this is going to be. Oh my. Alright, well.
You're dead.
We have roots. Looks like this one is the most effective on these guys. We have to take these inferno assholes out. Wind! Strike! Strike!
This is your end.
Double strike! Triple strike! Quadra strike! Take this!
This is your end.
Another one bites the dust!
No good smoke, sucker.
You're gonna heal. Life! Tornado! Double attack! Oh boy. That's not going well. Root.
This may hurt a little.
Mega heal.
They should have surrendered
Did it!
when they had the chance.
Victory is ours. And Loren levels up to 17. Booyah. Done. Bitches. Jul shrieked so high-pitched that they had to cover their ears in pain. Her voice then gave out, and so did her last ounce of strength. The demon succubus crumpled to the ground. Woo! Attribute points! Willpower! Haste. Alright. Okay. Palamesho! You leveled up. So some more willpower for you. Saren leveled up. Get energy level 3. Yep. Get some more skill points in there. Salzer leveled up. 1, 2, and 3. That's good. And Amakiki leveled up. More strength for him. Hooray. Let's give him the shield wall level 1. Alright. And Dora leveled up. Yay! More skill points for Dora. Arrow Rain level 2. Booyah. And Misfit leveled up. Let's just go strength. Boom. And done. The party recuperated from everything that had just happened. Tentatively, they approached her corpse. Before they could get too close, Jul's body vanished, as if melting away into the ground. Where did she go? What just happened?
I'm not sure. I've never seen a demon disappear such as that upon death. But I admit I've never seen a demon such as her before either.
You've never met a succubus?
No, not in the literal sense anyway.
So she's not dead? This couldn't get any better, really. We don't know that for sure. The wizard just said that maybe her type just goes out that way. Pretty fancy. Loren put her sword away with a loud clatter, getting everyone's attention. What matters is that she is no longer terrorizing the forest, or the Dark Elves. Everyone thought about Tobar and the village, wondering if they had recovered now that Jul was gone. To the village. Mesfit was the first to run from the forest. Loren has returned! Have you done it? Is the demon dead? Before they could answer, Astron's soldiers were startled by movement among the Dark Elves. They started rising off the ground and snapping out of their trances. They shook their heads as if they had just woken from a groggy night of drinking, but were clearly back to their own minds again. Even Tobar, Mesfit, was elated to see his father well. Astron offered the elder a hand up. After blinking a few times, he took him up on the offer.
Our blood betrays us all. I have no words to describe how sorry I am.
He swallowed and faced Astron.
My friend.
Don't waste words with an apology. You're already forgiven. Now that this dreadful demon is slain, we can now move forward to ridding the world of the rest of them. One still stands among us. Ray threw a cold look at Mesfit, standing silently by his father. He did not react to the accusation as if he had agreed. Loren eyed the younger Dark Elf. He had just tried to murder them. Your demon pact has taken control of you. I wonder if there's any of yourself still in that shell.
Tell them you are still my son.
Mesfit raised his chin up, but his eyes were wrought with grief.
Tell them!
But he continued to say nothing. Mesfit then crouched down and held his head low. It was not a bow to plead for his life. He was making it easier for Loren to kill him.
No! Stand up, please tell them!
Ashton grabbed Sholwar's shoulder tightly, but it was clear there would be no consolation strong enough for him after this. Loren was sympathetic, but her logic told her that he was a danger and a demon who was asking to be put out of that misery. She stepped up to him. Saren instinctively staggered forward. Could he let his mistress take Tobar's son's life? Gotta let the guy live. There must be another way. He must be dealt with. Through death only? What other options do we have? We need to see if his beast can be tamed. We cannot give up on a life so easily. We have seen it happen before. He's capable of reclaiming himself. There is still a great chance that he could suppress the urges altogether. Loren was silent as she thought. If you believe so highly of him, then I must as well. Do not hesitate to take him down if he gets out of control. I mean it. That will not be necessary. I already know. A hint of a smile graced Tobar. Thank you. Thank you for giving him his chance. Good still exists in the world, even when all is tainted by evil. The person who gives us that hope is more valuable than any resource. Princess Loren, you will make a fine leader. I've kept my word in dispatching the demon. The forest elders could not deny me my claims now. I think you are correct. This deed will sit well with them. I'll personally confer with them in your favor. As will I.
Both Jul and Cruel were now dealt with. Loren needed to return to the Citadel to complete her takeover.
Hey, this is RPGatWill. I hope you liked this episode of Loren the Amazon Princess. If you want to check out some of my other material, you can click on my channel link below, or you can even subscribe if you'd like. I like to do some silly songs on the side, along with my RPG work. If you want to see some more group-oriented stuff, there's another channel called Gaming Idiots TV that I take part in. That's where we do all our group stuff, so I'll provide a link below if you want to check it out there. See you next time.